Hey, howdy, hey guys, and welcome back to a new content. It's Star Wars Saturday. For those of you for new Jedi and Sith, get a lightsaber, become one with the Force. For this is your first lesson. I'm going to be describing how the Sith and the dark side work, the ancient enemy of the Jedi. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this. We're going to be talking about mostly the Sith and the dark side, but in order to get into this, I have to talk about both because there is no one without the other in the Star Wars universe. One of them, the Jedi, wants to be firmly cemented in the light side, and the Sith want to be firmly cemented in the dark side. The Jedi use green and blue lightsabers with a bunch of other colors in it, while the Sith use red, practically to symbolize like their darkness, their fury, their hatred. Anyway, go like and subscribe. I'm just kidding. Let's continue. And the beliefs of the Jedi and Sith are that the Jedi believe that the Force, their light side in particular, is the natural version of the Force that is the energy field that created all living things, that surrounds us and penetrates us. It binds the galaxy together. That pretty much saying that the Force resides in all living things, but you have to be open to it. While the Sith and the dark side is the unnatural, corrupt version. That is not true. Both sides together form the Force entirely. There's no one without the other. Like I said, there's no too much good, there's no too much evil. It's balance. You're just common ground, a midpoint. Anyway, how they use the Force is very important as well. And it describes like the emotions they use and what they do and how they do it. The Jedi use the Force together in conjunction. They work with it. They let it flow through them. You go with the flow. You just chill. Just go with the flow. Just be one with the Force. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. Most of you have heard that you know me. You've heard me mention that in some way. While the Sith, however, they have the belief that they can take the Force and bend it to their will to serve them. Like, they think they are more important themselves. They're selfish, in particular, are more important than everything else. Everything else is less than them. What do I have to do to get more powerful? How does this gonna affect me? What can I do? And they have a lot of different ways of doing things in order to get to their goal. A Jedi, yeah, they want to become powerful, but they don't want it immediately. They go with the flow. They work for it. It takes time. Well, the Sith is practically the quick and easy path, which is not good in some ways. It's kind of like a real life. You want to get a good career, you don't just get it immediately. If you try to get it immediately, you're not going to do very well. Like the Sith, it's immediate, but it's not going to do well, and it's very temporarily. The Jedi and like people with good careers, they work for it. They take their time, and eventually they will get it, and they will be just as satisfied when they get their goal finished. Now here's the really big question. Is there anything between them? Yes, a gray Jedi. Someone who is not a darksider, but not completely in the light side like the Jedi. They're just right there in between, like they're balanced. They don't believe that any ability is, whether it's natural or unnatural, is good or evil. It's just how you personally use it. You can use, like for example, Sith lightning is mostly used to torment, harm, kill, disfigure, destroy, while a gray Jedi thinks they can use it for good. And I don't know how they truly use it for good, but I can agree with it a lot as, yeah, you're not completely balanced if you are a goody two-shoes. No offense to you, goody two-shoes, and you're not pure evil. you have both good and bad emotions, and that's just what makes you you. You are balanced. That's what makes you stable and mentally stable in some aspects. But that's sort of how a great Jedi works. Yeah, they have to touch into their darker emotions, but they don't give in to the dark side. They be like the Jedi and let the darkness flow through them, and they can use it, but not let it corrupt their bodies. And that's the thing that most Jedi, not all Jedi, most Jedi can't do. There are a couple Jedi that actually can use the dark side without letting it corrupt their bodies and let it scar them. That's very interesting because that's actually it actually goes with this thing right here. The dark side actually corrupts the body of its user. Like, for example, Darth Sidious or Palpatine, for those of you who watch Star Wars, or the Emperor, guy with Force lightning. Ever ring a bell to you? Here, well, people recognize him by gray hair, black hoodie, yellowish eyes, messed up gray skin, black hands, practically. And they think that because, and for those of you who watch Star Wars, think that because he got his Force lightning deflected back onto him, that's what deformed him. That's not true. He was already deformed before that happened. He was just wearing a dark side mask to hide that. Like I said, some dark side abilities considered to be unnatural. Well, Sith magic or Sith alchemy, that one of the abilities from that is mask, which you can reshape your appearance however you want it. You can make yourself look like a completely different person. You can make yourself look like a completely different species, for example. But if you were directly injured and attacked, the mask would melt off, revealing your true appearance, which is what happened in Star Wars Episode 3, what happened to Palpatine. Anyway, the reason he's so deformed is because that's the dark side. The more you are cemented with the dark side, yeah, it gives you great power, but it wears on you like a drug, practically. You use it, you become powerful, which results in you wanting more and more. You use it for a lot more, and at higher dosages, and like a real drug, it affects your appearance and makes you look sick. Which is practically why Palpatine looks so deformed, because the dark side corrupted his body. It makes him look completely frail. And yeah, that's not something, that's pretty much why the Jedi don't ever want to give in to the dark side, because they're afraid of that happening. The Sith think that's worth it if it means becoming more powerful. Not to me, it's not. And I don't think you guys want that either, do you? The light side, unlike the dark side, doesn't even deform the body. It actually heals it, rejuvenates it. The more you are immersed with the light side, you actually can live a lot longer, or the Jedi can live a lot longer than they normally would. For example, Master Yoda, he's over 900 years old. And that's not because of his species, that's because he's completely cemented in the light side, the pure light side. And I'm just saying that's the only reason why he's been able to survive 900 years. Without the light side, last so long I would not. Live 900 years old I would not. And look so good I will not. So basically, dark side destroys your body, while gives you great power, while the light side gives you great power and rejuvenates the body within time. That's mainly the difference thing between the light and dark side is, for example, just be balanced. You do not want to become a Sith if Star Wars was real, which in fact it's not. I would compare it to like two fuses. One is the light, two is the dark. The light would go slowly, it would light up slowly, but when it reaches its full power, it would last a very long time. While the Sith, it's the quick and easy path, it's immediately. It wouldn't last very long. And so it's not as powerful as it seems to be, which, yeah, it's not immortal. It doesn't last forever, which is ironically the Sith's main goal, is to live forever, to be immortal. Which, you know what's the ironic part? they can't obtain it because that you have to go through the light side in order to become immortal. And they can't even become one with the Force anyway. So practically there's nothingness. There's no life after death for the Sith. You have to go through the light side. That's why some Jedi who learn the ability to become Force Ghost, which I'm sure you've seen it if you watched any of the Star Wars movies, that when the Jedi, they become immortal, they become one with the Force. Like, for example, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Anakin. When they died, they became one with the Force. They were able to live forever and return as Force ghosts. Sith won't be able to do that because, well, they can't. They just can't obtain it. It's like it comes through the emotionally release of yourself, not through the exaltation of self. Anyway, that is the main differences between the Jedi and the Sith, and I'm hoping I described as much of the dark side as possible. Anyway, sorry this was a very long video, but I hope you enjoyed this. Go like, subscribe, comment down below what do you want me to do tomorrow, and are you guys hyped for the Bon Jovi concert videos on Thursday and my first vlog? Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and in the way of Star Wars, they always say, may the Force be with you, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends.